Hi guys, how's it going? In today's video, I'm going to show you how I prep my car for a road trip. So now let's get started. So the first thing I check if I'm going for a road trip is to check all the fluids in my car. I just want to make sure they're up to the right level. So now I'm going to check the coolant, the brake fluid, and also the oil level. So this is this is your tank for the coolant. So you have to make sure that the level of the fluid is between the minimum and the maximum. So it's kind of difficult to see the fluid right now, but if you put a flashlight, you're gonna see the level of the fluid. That's just a technique that I use to see the fluid a lot better. And here there's a line. The camera won't focus, but there's a line here. In this area there's a line, and that's your minimum indication that the fluid should be above that. So it should be above the line and before the seam of this tank. The seam of the tank is the maximum. So if you need to top up your coolant, this is what I use. I use the original BMW coolant, but this one you have to mix 50% of distilled water before you put this in your car. See, distilled water, 50% distilled water and 50% coolant before you put it in the expansion tank of the coolant reservoir tank. So that's how I top up the coolant. So you can get the water in your local grocery store. Just make sure it's the distilled water, and this coolant you can get them on your local BMW car dealer. So now I'm gonna check the brake fluid. So the brake fluid is underneath this cover here. So we have to take out the we have to turn the 10mm plastic screw there, or plastic bolt, so you can release this panel so you can see the brake reservoir tank. So this is the brake fluid reservoir, but it's kind of difficult to see right now where the fluid level is. I'm gonna put my light on it. See, my fluid is exactly at the max. So in this case, if your fluid is exactly on the max, that's good, because you need that extra fluid when your brake is getting thin because of wear. That fluid level will go down. So that's a good indication to see if your brake pads are getting worn out. If you see the brake fluid going down, that means your brake pad is getting thinner. So in case you need to top up your brake fluid, this is what I use on my car. I got this from FCP Euro. You can also get them on your local BMW dealer or any other auto parts store. Just have to make sure you get the right type before you put it in your car. So if you need to top it up, just top it up to the maximum, just to make sure you got a good amount of fluid in there. So here in the car now, we're gonna check the oil level. So you know, with the BMW, because we don't have any dipsticks, so we have to start the car and measure the oil digitally with a sensor from the inside of the engine. So to do that, you have to start your car. So we're gonna go to the menu, then you go to vehicle info, vehicle status, measure engine oil level. You need to make sure your engine is up to the right temperature before we can measure the oil. So we're gonna wait for that. So now the engine is warmed up. I'm gonna start measuring now. You're gonna feel that the engine is increasing in RPM, but that's fine. It's just trying to measure the oil inside your engine. So my engine oil level is okay. It's up to the maximum. That's good. So I don't need to top it up. So in case you do need to top up your oil, this is the oil filler cap. For me, I just use this 5W40 Castrol Edge oil on my car. So you just have to select which type of grade of oil you need to put in your car before you add up a bit of oil. So I usually add up half a quart or half a liter at a time, just to make sure I don't overfill with oil. So just to be on the safe side, that's how I top up the oil, and that until I get to the maximum level of oil. But actually, if your oil level is between the min and the max, that's still fine. As long as you're above the minimum, you're still okay. So one more thing I forgot to mention, if you are doing all the fluid checks, it's a good idea also to check the belt. So by using a flashlight, you can see the condition of the belt. You can check the rib. If it's cracked, then if you see that there's no crack, it's still okay. And also, the back side of the belt should not be shiny. If it's shiny, then it's time to replace it. So one of the most important thing on a road trip is the tire pressure of the car. If you don't have the right tire pressure, you can have a blowout, and also it decreases your fuel economy. So just to make sure you have the right tire pressure is by checking the amount of tire pressure that you need to the spec here on the door. So here it says the front should be 32 psi, and for the back it's supposed to be 38. So we're gonna check it out right now. So we're gonna start from the front. So you're gonna need a tire gauge to measure this pressure. So I'm on 32. That's good. That's perfect. So you also have to do the same process on the other front tire, on the passenger side. So now we're gonna check the rear. The spec says this should be 38. I'm actually above 38. Let me double check. Yeah, it's 40. So you see that 40 mark? There's a line below that. We should be on that line below the 40 mark. So now we're gonna reduce the air pressure on this rear tire because it's too much. I usually use the tip of this to press the valve, so instead of using your nail. That's one more technique that I find, instead of using your nail to release the air. Check again. A little bit more. Use the plastic again to press. This one should be 38. There you go. 38. So like I said, you have to do the same process on the rear. Since we know that this is overpressure, I'm gonna reduce the other side also. Okay. That's it. $38. Perfect. I'm gonna verify the front just to make sure. So this front should be 32. This is a passenger front. Exactly 32. So in case you do have a flat tire, as you know, BMW doesn't put a spare tire on the trunk anymore. They give you the run flat, but me, I don't have the run flat. And it comes with the emergency tire repair kit. So this one is still new. I never used this one, but I bring my own tire repair kit. First of all, you need to jack up the car to fix your tire. Because the car doesn't come with a jack. You need to have some chocks to stop the car from moving while you're changing the tire or fixing the tire. You're gonna need a wrench to take out the wheel. So I use the Slime emergency tire repair in case I need to repair the tire. Or I can also use my tire repair kit. This is what I usually use if I want to repair a flat tire. So I bought some extra plugs to plug up the hole on the tire, just in case I need to really use it for emergency. So I either use this one or this one. It depends on the situation. So once you fix a tire, you need to put back the pressure. So you need a compressor to fill up the air. So I'm bringing my Jansite Smart Wireless Air Compressor. I love this one. This is my favorite of my of all my compressor. This is the one that I really love. So this is fully digital and it's fully automatic. Just set the right pressure and it's gonna stop at the right pressure. So all you have to do is make sure this is fully charged. But even though you run out of power, it comes with a backup. It comes with a backup cigarette lighter plug adapter to power it up in case you run out of juice on that wireless air compressor, which is I really like. So in case you don't really want to deal with this kind of stuff, if you want to, if you had a flat tire and you don't want to fix it on the road, but you're still gonna need a jack to jack up the car, so you must have a jack. You can also bring one of your winter tire. So if you bring one of your winter tire, that will act as like a spare tire, but it's gonna take trunk space. So you're gonna lose trunk space on your trunk. So it's up to you. You can bring one of your winter tire as a spare tire, or you can fix it just to make sure you don't get stranded on the road. So guys, that's how I prep my car for a road trip. So if you have any ideas or suggestions how you prep your car for a road trip, please leave them down in the comment section down below. So guys, I hope you find this video very informative, so please give this video a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified for the next video. So guys, thank you very much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. I just can't deny giving me the best time.